It's funny being called an entrepreneur. I never thought of myself that, but there's no doubt that I've seen myself now as the leadership of a group is so vital. And I have a calm personality, and I see lots of good friends that run other groups that are similar to mine, and they fall out with a lot of people because of small issues, but they've got passionate, or they've sent an email without sleeping on it. So I have a few basic rules. Never send an email in anger, because of course my own teaching team drive me crazy, but I sleep on it and I think, okay, well, that's their point of view and I have to respect that, and it might be different to mine. So I think I'm careful. I'll only burn a bridge if I think it needs to be burnt. I think it's much better to understand the other point of view and try and work with people. Assume goodwill is a big motto of mine. So, sometimes I'll have a staff member that goes, no, if someone says they bought a ticket at the door and they don't provide it, I'm not letting them in. And my attitude is, let them in. One person in 100 will rip us off, but I hope Swing Patrol will always assume goodwill. Even if we do get taken for a ride now and then, I'd rather do that than stress 50 people out who genuinely have lost their ticket. So I think assuming goodwill, enjoying the journey, surround yourself by positive people. I have some talented dancers around London, but I won't let them DJ, I won't let them teach, because there's a certain energy I look for, and that energy is about loving the people first. I think the key to being a good leader and entrepreneur is how you manage people. I'm not saying I've made lots of mistakes over the years, but I think assuming goodwill, looking after people, and surrounding yourself by great people. I think that's really key. Swing Patrol does some really cool things, but they're not me. I'm just lucky that I'm the head of Swing Patrol, but I have put key people in key roles, and they're great at what they do, whether that be a graphic designer, whether they are the cool kids that get us access to the summer festivals so we can dance in front of the cool, hip kids of East London. I've got some people that do some really great things for Swing Patrol, so I think that's key, who you surround yourself by. So at Swing Patrol, we have an administration team, a central team, a management team, and their job is to service our teaching team. So our teaching team are the face of Swing Patrol. They're the ones every week, whether it's raining, snowing, too hot, they have to turn up at the venue and hopefully run really inspiring swing dance classes. So our job, the central team, is to make their lives as easy as possible. So administratively, emails, all those things, booking, paying rent, all that stuff. So yeah, and we have strategic planning days. So this team are a great team, and and they're not yes people too. And I think that's really important. And one thing that's saved me, I think, and been integral in the growth of Swing Patrol is people challenging me, including my wife, going, are you sure about this? This doesn't seem right. I feel like you've missed the mark in making this decision, and me listening to my team around me. So yeah, I have some strong personalities around me, but I think that's good for me, because you make, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, you'll make 1,000 decisions a week. And if it's those 3 or 4 that might be wrong, that you hope someone around you will go, I think you've missed the mark on this. I think the key lessons of leadership are staying in contact with where the dance is, where the business is, and where the people are and what they're thinking. You can think that everybody's super happy and loving the journey, but if you're too removed and you haven't stayed in touch with them, you can really miss the mark. And I have previously, not realized that. So I'm always saying to my team, listen, I'm the person that can change something. If you're upset by something, frustrated by a certain system that's in place, we can agree to disagree, but I can't change anything if you don't come and have a chat with me. So I guess it's that communication thing always, and not making assumptions and trying to get feedback 2 ways. And I think, that's probably the best key, the best lesson I can think of. So running my own business is full of surprises, and certainly you never quite know where a week will take you. And I feel for my team suddenly. Sometimes there'll be a priority and something else comes over the top of it. So it's that ability to move and shake and be able to make good decisions in terms of what is the most important thing to work on today. Because you could choose 1,000 ways. Do we teach in schools? Do we focus on teaching in colleges? Do we focus on getting corporate gigs? We simply can't do it all. So we have to make good decisions, so we're not surprised that we've missed the boat on something. But yeah, I'm always surprised by, I don't know, the great things that come around, actually. I'm surprised in a good way that some movie will come out and they want swing dancers to audition, or I think it's just amazing that we've had the chance to dance at Buckingham Palace and things like that. These things just come out of the blue, and usually we're given no notice, and there's some of the highlights, there's some of the best things we could do, but usually, yeah, they come just so spontaneously out of nowhere. So sometimes when times are tough, and we VAT and taxation is tough for any small business, sometimes I have that thing of, wow, I gave up a banking career, and till this day I've never really earned the salary from my banking days. Do I regret it? No, but in the tough times you're like, boy, I've chosen the tough path. But no, at the end of the day I'll never regret it. But sometimes, like, the toughest thing is when you go to a bank loan and you want to get a house loan, so your wife is comfortable and you can move on with your life. And generally when you're self-employed, the banks don't like you. They want everything. And then you're a foreigner as well. And then, those are the moments where I feel like there's a sacrifice for when you're an entrepreneur. It's quite tough because you don't have a pay slip. So the bank just wants every possible thing imaginable. And on top of that, being a foreigner, there's all those visa issues. So yeah, that's the things that annoy me, I suppose. The flip side of being an entrepreneur is my brother says this, I don't have an alarm clock. I can work late if I feel, and I can sleep into when I want. I'm self-made. My brother is so much more financially secure than me. He works in venture capital and so forth, but he always says to me, when I got married, I went for a 3-month honeymoon, and he was only allowed 2 weeks, and he's always like, yeah, the thing is, you're your own boss, and that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. So yeah, when I did get married, to go off the grid to Asia for 3 months, let the team run swim patrol, I mean, if you're in a job, you can't do that. But it was such an incredible thing. So yeah, I'm ever so grateful that I have my own business and that I can do my own thing. So looking back, when I think about all the lessons learned and the mistakes made, I wish I'd sort of sought more advice perhaps from mentors. It's only in the last 3 or 4 years that I've become obsessed by reading books by other people that have done really cool things on a bigger scale in wine industry and other things, and I find them absorbing. I'm like, wow, that's amazing, I wish I'd thought of that. So I think I was always on my own, or with Claudia, and we were just making it up as we go, and we made so many mistakes. So I think, even though I read like Richard Branson's books, there's so many more out there. There's some really great resources, and I wish I'd used all that knowledge that already existed instead of learning the hard way sometimes. That's the advice I'd give to some new people wanting to be entrepreneurs.